What do you believe? Do you believe there's a creator, a God? If you do you have a particular faith you believe
No,
in?
I'm agnostic.
Okay, so explain to other people what being a agnostic
It
means.
just means I don't believe in it that there is a God. But if there is a God, then that's cool. You know, I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
So agnost is basically you. It's agnos is Latin, right? Right, Latin or Greek
I'm not sure.
for I don't know. So you're saying you don't know, but you're not atheist, which is the ones that deny that there's a God.
So if there is a God, then that's fine by me. But if there isn't, then that's also fine. I just don't think there's enough proof.
Got it. So what would be proof for you?
I'm not sure. For me, I think if there was a more direct approach to intervention. So I think if there was a God and that they were interested in preserving life, there would be a more direct approach to that rather than this offhand sort of like you guys figure it out on your own sort of thing.
Okay, so on the question of God, you say I don't know.
Yes.
You don't negate nor do you affirm.
No.
All right. So then my question to you would be, what is your belief around how the universe came about?
Best one we have right now is the Big Bang, but we don't have a really definitive explanation to how that singularity became.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It just sort of existed, and we don't have a good explanation yet.
Yeah, because the Big Bang describes what happened after.
Yes.
So what? The question is, what was the initiator of the Big Bang?
Well, we don't know that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But logically, right?
Right.
Anything that was, or anything that is here, was created from something prior.
Correct.
Nothing can make something. Something cannot come from nothing.
That is one of our laws of thermodynamics, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
So in that idea, and the way I can explain to you that there is a God or a creator, is that if the whole universe was only relied on contingent things, like things that are dependent upon each other, and do you ascribe to the universe being infinite or no?
Infinite. Infinitely
like
expanding.
eternal?
Infinitely expanding, yeah. Not eternal. I mean,
Eternal.
Eternal?
Yeah.
Eventually, no. I mean,
the Big Bang kind of disproves that, right? Because there was an initial start.
Initially, well, you're saying, if you're saying it goes on for infinity, correct?
No, I'm saying, do you believe this?
Do I believe it? What?
What is your idea about the universe? Do you think it's infinite, or do you think that?
I think it's infinitely expanding, but at a certain point, it will expand to a point that it no longer has a meaning.
All right, let me tell you this. Do you agree that dependent things cannot only be, like if there was a set, right? Or if there was a circle, and it was only dependent things, this thing cannot exist because they're all dependent upon something else.
Yes, but you are...
Like I'm saying the universe now. Is the universe dependent?
I would assume so. I'm not sure.
Like it's contingent. Meaning that you can take off, you can take away and put in, it can be changed.
We cannot take in or take out. What we have is what we have now.
The Big Bang, right?
Right.
This describes the universe it expanded from a singularity, right?
Yeah.
But the howness or the whatness from before that singularity, the science doesn't have answers to that.
Not yet. Correct.
But you know from you said the laws of thermodynamics that something cannot come from nothing.
Yeah.
And that necessitates that the universe came from something, right?
Yeah, I agree.
We say that something is God. That something is the independence. Because if everything in the universe was dependent, like for example, we're dependent on food. The tree and the plants are dependent on the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole world is, you could say, interdependent upon each other.
Yeah.
But interdependency and dependency itself cannot exist exclusively.
Yeah, it cannot exist in a single, out of nowhere.
Exactly. Because that would be basically, it would be impossible because everything will be dependent on each other. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I can see. But
there
the
must.
problem is
My point is there must be
that the Big Bang theory is true or not. It's just the current working theory that we have. Whether or not it is true or not, we have no proof. Whether it's absolutely true, like definitively true, we have no proof for it.
Yeah.
It's just the working theory we have, which is why I'm okay with just like, if there is a God, then why not? You know?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
All right, I'll ask you this then.
Yeah.
if you ascribe to this idea of being an agnostic,
Mhm.
what do you think happens after death?
Nothing.
You think it's just
Yeah.
ceases to
It's
exist?
Did you were you able to receive the millions of years that came before you were here today? Like the millions of years where the dinosaurs are alive, or the periods before the stars are created, right? None of that was actually real to you. It was just nothing, a big nothingness. That's how I imagine it is.
What do you mean it was nothing?
Nothing. You can never perceive it. You didn't have the ability to perceive.
So are you denying history?
No, but I'm denying that I could perceive that history.
You're denying that you're what?
I'm able to perceive that history.
All right. Do you know your mom is your mom?
Yeah.
How?
Because I'm told that I am, and that I believe it is.
Yeah, but you're saying that you cannot perceive it.
I cannot prove that, but I'm saying.
But you could do a DNA test and see that this is truly your mom.
Yes, I could.
So
But
then you can
I
definitively prove that this is your mom.
Yeah, I could.
So, but whether or not you do a DNA test or not, right?
Mhm.
You see what I mean?
What I'm saying is, you cannot understand, you cannot perceive yourself or a sense of self before you came to be alive, correct? Do you agree?
You repeat yourself.
You cannot perceive a sense of self, of yourself, correct?
Of course. You're
Before you
not in
came alive.
existence. Yeah.
Yes. That's what I'm saying about what happens after I die. I cannot perceive it before, therefore I will not perceive it afterwards. It'll be all just nothing.
Okay. Well, basically,
Sorry if I got a little off track there.
No, you're good. Basically, you would accept the idea that there is a God.
Yeah. Why
And
not?
your idea, what is a better worldview? To be a atheist or a theist? To believe there is a God or to believe there is no God?
Does one necessarily have to be better?
No, in your opinion, what would give someone a better chance of a more quality life?
A more quality life? I believe being in a religious group helps you find a sense of community much easier than being the sort of nothing really exists, maybe it does exist, who knows, that doesn't give you a sense of community. But when you have a shared experience with someone, like say if you believe in Christianity and you believe in someone, you now have a shared experience with them. But if you're agnostic, you don't really know, you have a nothingness between you and them. That's not anything. So I would say if you want to look for a sense of community, but it's better in what sense, Are you looking for
quality of life?
Quality of life?
Even purpose.
Purpose?
Even people that theists,
Well,
they derive purpose of life. Yeah. Because we're creatures of purpose.
Right.
We seek meaning. Atheism, being an atheist, doesn't ascribe meaning to your life. It's just what is.
Yeah.
And there's no particular reasoning or meaning. Even when it comes down to morality, there's no objective morality in atheism.
There is no objective reality than the one.
Morality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just whatever you make out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But how can
morality is objective?
Morality is all what?
Not objective.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't objective.
No, it isn't.
No, but yeah, now I agree that it's not objective, because if someone might say that killing is right, and someone might say no, killing is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Who then decides the morality of that?
We decide as a group of people.
But the Americans say the Nazis were incorrect. The Nazi says the Americans are incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
So who's right?
Eventually, we come to a agreement about that.
They fought. There was no agreement.
Yeah, we fought. But that's just human nature.
My point is, okay.
Yeah.
Would you say that the universe is finely tuned?
No.
Why not?
I think it is to an extent tuned. I agree. To an extent, if gravity were 1% stronger, we would all get crushed.
Exactly.
And if a little weaker.
The distance of the sun, for example.
Yeah, nearly perfect.
But what do you mean nearly? If even scientists today, they say if the sun were a little bit closer, there would be no life. If the sun was a little bit further, there will be no life.
I think once you give enough random chances, right?
Yeah.
There are a couple billion, trillion, whatever, how many planets and stars in the universe, right? I think once you take probability and you roll the dice enough times, you'll eventually find a perfect solution to your answer.
So you're ascribing the universe to randomness?
Yeah.
But that's impossible, because why? I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
Randomness is just used as a term for a concept that people do not understand currently. So for example.
Give an example.
Yeah, for example, right? If someone comes and they walk into a math class and they see the teacher wrote a whole list of equations of calculus, for example.
Sure.
He might ascribe that to randomness because he doesn't currently understand what it means. But the teacher himself will say, no, this is nothing random. These are concocted, carefully examined formulas that help us reach conclusions.
Yes,
And
but
when you ascribe randomness, even in like scholars themselves, they debate whether randomness is actually a thing in the real world. You know, are you seeing what I'm saying?
I see what you mean. Absolutely.
The Earth, for example, if the atmosphere were a little bit different and there were different gases than there are now, there would be no life.
Correct.
The way the plants function, the way that we function, how we let out carbon dioxide and they let out oxygen, and at nighttime that flips, and how the mother and the father, they're a perfect union so they can have a child, and how for example, the child, the best chances of him growing up being a good citizen and a good human is in a one two-parent household. How the universe is designed in a way that there are stars where people can use these stars for navigating, and all of these different things. What are the chances of this all perfectness being random? It's impossible.
I disagree, because I think
even atheists, by the way, they admit that the universe is finely tuned for life to exist.
I do agree.
Yeah.
But I do not think that it is like perfectly crafted, which is what a lot of people say finely tuned.
What would you mean by that?
Like, it is specifically made this way, specifically for us, basically. A lot of people, when they
No, but I'm not asking that. I'm saying,
Okay,
like,
good.
I asked you if you think it's finely tuned. You said yes, right?
Yeah, I do.
All right. This things being the way they are and not being in a different way implies design. Would you agree?
No, I don't.
Why?
I think if you have enough, if you have enough random things and you roll those random things enough times, right? Eventually you will find a perfect combination to get the desired result that you want. This is how like machine learning works, right? A machine doesn't really know what a picture of like a tree is, right?
But it doesn't learn through random generation.
No, but it learns through random permutation of its own code.
But the word you're using, random, it's random to you, but the code is specific to that.
It's not random to me.
Because you don't understand the code that's but you don't understand the code that's in that tool. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like the tool itself has all the codes inside of it. It has the ones and zeros inside of it built in. So to the tool itself, it's not random. To the outsider, it's random. You see what I mean?
Yes and no. Because machine learning, we do actually do random. We actually do random until it gets to a point where it no longer becomes random and it makes a decision about choices.
No, but I'm saying random is for, like, I know what you're talking about when you say random generate.
Yeah.
For example, who is that random to? It's not random to the algorithm, because when we press that,
it's a definitive number to the algorithm.
Exactly.
Yes.
So the algorithm, using that press of a button, takes the inputs, uses the code that's already built inside of it, and outputs using all that. So it's a design alluded and allowed to the tool to do. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I'd agree.
But me and you think it's random because we don't have the code in our brain. We haven't memorized that code inside of it. So us, and naturally so, we say it's random. It's randomly generated.
Right.
Similar to that, the universe. We might say, for example, a long time ago, they might say, look at the constellations, they're random. Or look at, there's a North Star, it's randomly put there. Now we come to know that, for example, the North Star is fixed in a location to where we can use it to navigate. Do you see what I'm saying?
I agree.
So if you ascribe design, because what is design? It's the tree being brown instead of green. The fact that it's not green implies something or someone chose it to be brown. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
Like, why have we never seen for example, a tree that has a giraffe head out of it?
I have no idea.
The mere fact that we've never seen one implies that this has been chosen this way instead of that way. See what I mean?
Not really, but I kind of get it.
Even look at the human body. Why is the nose on top of the mouth and not the opposite way?
I have no clue. I don't study biology.
Because
you have to tell me.
Because it would be, think about it logically, it would be inconvenient to sniff then eat. But if you have food, you sniff first and then you eat. Even the way the human body is constructed, it's perfect. Where the eyes are. Why don't we have one eye here and one eye here? We would be doing this all day. You see what I mean? The way their eyebrows, the
I see what
eyebrows
you mean.
protect the
No,
eyes.
But that's why we have the theory of evolution, because we would say, hey, having an eye here and an eye here is disadvantageous for survival or
Yeah.
for how we live.
Yeah.
Therefore, over time, we will see less and less of an eye here and eye here, and it will slowly come to the center of the face, or wherever it is now. Wherever it
But even the theory of evolution, right? The theory of evolution, if you ascribe to it, it might describe how the humans evolved.
Right.
Where did the human come from? That's the question.
We understand it as bacteria. Eventually, we came from bacteria.
Okay, but that bacteria, where did that bacteria come from?
We understand that from a random set of, if you take a bunch of chemicals and you
Okay, those
shock
chemicals,
them,
where did they come from?
we come from the stars and we come to Big Bang, we come full circle and we come back to where we started.
Exactly.
Yes.
So logically, even in mathematics, something can never come from nothing, nothingness. It's impossible. Think about nothingness. You can't even think about it because it's nothing.
Right, sure.
And if that zero, even in mathematics, 0 plus 0, multiply it, divide it, it always gives you 0. And it implies that there must have been an independent source where all of these dependent things, humans or the earth, were derived from. So as Muslims, I'm Muslim by the way,
Yeah.
we ascribe this independent source to God. God is basically the creator, the sustainer, the one that gives life. And we have Islam. Islam is the way of life, where it basically shows humans their purpose and how to live, and it gives you answers to questions. You were created, for example, by the God Almighty. The way you're supposed to live your life, morality. How do humans know morality? It cannot be subjective, because he'll say killing is okay, he'll say it's wrong, he'll say racism is good, he'll say no, racism is bad. So if we leave morality up to the humans, no one will agree, no one will live their life correctly. So when you ascribe, for example, this God being all-powerful, because no one besides all-powerful can create the world. When you ascribe those attributes to God, and another attribute would be, for example, all-wise, all-knowledgeable. We know this through revelation, through the Quran. Were you born this way, or were you born in a faith?
Sorry?
Were you born in this agnostic phase, or were you born in a faith?
My mother and my father was a Buddhist. My mother is a Catholic, but they didn't really.
A Buddhist and a Catholic, okay?
Yeah. They're both common.
Can you actually wait 1 second? It's 8 seconds. I have to hear this. It's emergency. Sorry about that.
No problem. This is fun. I enjoyed this a lot.
I enjoy it too, bro. So, your mother was a Buddhist?
No, my father was a Buddhist.
Buddhist, and your mother was a Catholic?
Yes.
Why'd you leave that faith?
I was just never born into it. My mother, she took religious studies here at U of H, actually.
Really?
Yeah. She was trying to find out if she was like really a Catholic, she really wanted to be a Catholic, who she wanted to be like religiously, right? And she settled on Catholic. My father was just born into Buddhism. He doesn't really practice it, and my mother just never really wanted us to like have to be forced to choose Catholicism.
Catholicism, yeah.
Sorry. I don't know. I guess I was born agnostic because I was never pushed into any sort of religious faith.
But now you would agree that there must be a creator, right? Based on what I said.
No.
Due to fine-tuning of the universe, due to that us all being dependent by necessity, there must imply that there's an independence. Like everything in the universe itself is a dependent entity. Why? I'll tell you why. Do you agree that the universe is expanding?
Yeah.
The mere fact that the universe is becoming bigger means that it was smaller. If you subject these attributes to the universe, by necessity, it is a dependent thing. You understand?
Sure.
Would you agree?
Sure. I guess.
But you see what I mean by that,
no,
right?
I do see.
So
but
if the universe
have
itself,
a theory, but we don't know if it's true. But we are just testing to see if it's true.
No. The most plausible explanation of the universe expanding that science has came up with today is that theory that they ascribe to it. But they conclude that the universe is expanding.
Oh.
Not only that, another theory is the Big Bang, that the universe started with a singularity and it exploded and there was a Big Bang. So it implies that it had a start. These starts and it's expanding, these imply that the universe is a dependent entity itself. Mm-hmm. And then what does that mean? That a dependent always has a
dependency
on a independent.
Yeah, independent. Yeah, sure.
Because if it depended on another dependent, and that dependent must depend on another dependent, it would, and ad infinitum, that would be a paradox, because we would never reach where we are now. You see what I mean?
Sure.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we would even be speaking right now if infinity of the universes was a thing. Because we would never reach the present. You see what I mean?
Mhm.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, sure.
So there must be an independent source that everything stems from. Do you see?
Yeah.
So would you then agree that there must be an independent source, whether you want to call it a God or not?
Sure, I agree.
Good. Well, that independent source that we say, this is what we call God. Once you establish that there's an independent source, then you come to think, okay, we're humans, we were born. I was born from my mom. Okay, now I'm in the world. Okay, what is good? What is bad? You start to realize, okay, how do I live my life? And then you go into morality. If everything was subjective, the world wouldn't function correctly. And not only that, we have innate feelings sometimes. Like, for example, if you see a video, like recently the Israel-Palestine issue, when you see the Palestinians, when you see babies being pulled out like the rubble, you're like, you feel something. You're like, I hate seeing that. It's terrible. It's a baby. Why is he dying? What is that feeling that you have inside of you? And then how can you ascribe that to morality? You see, maybe someone might say, oh, that feeling is a good feeling. But you know, naturally, this is not a good feeling. I feel bad. You see what I mean? Religion explains this all away. Let me ask you a question. Did you ever have an issue with the Catholic or Christian tradition?
Not personally, no.
I
know a lot of people do. I personally just never cared for it. I just do my own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know Islam is different from Christianity.
Very. Yes.
What do you know about Islam?
I know very, very little. I know that there are different separate like religious faith. I know they have different practices. I know very little outside of that because I've never really been interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to know a little bit?
No. I really do appreciate this talk, but I'm personally not interested in it.
About Islam?
No. Personally.
You don't want to know anything about Islam?
No, I'm okay. Thank you, though.
Interesting. What if it was true, for example?
What if it was true?
Yeah.
Then I will live my life not knowing the truth.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Would you be happy with that?
I think ignorance is faith for me.
Ignorance is faith.
Is not faith. Ignorance is
bliss.
Bliss. There you go. That's the word. I would be happy living my life just sort of. If I never knew what was true, what was false, right?
Yeah.
Then how would I have a problem with that?
Yeah.
You know?
But you innately are a truth seeker. Why are you coming to university?
Just to get my degree.
Yeah, but you enjoy learning.
Yeah, sure.
Like when I come to you with a story, for example, of the past, you enjoy learning. And if I were to tell you, okay, John killed Mike, you'll say, why did John kill Mike? You want to know the story. You want to know the truth. Was John right or was Mike right? You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's naturally in us. The same thing when you take that and you put that into real life and you see what the different faiths say, then you can come to a conclusion. But when you shut that off, this is like shutting off a huge component of life, which is faith. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. You want to add anything else?
No.
I have a gift for you if you'd like one.
Oh, sure.
It's the Quran in English.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is an English translation of the Quran. It's an English translation of the Quran. So people like yourself can understand and read it.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank
It's
you,
been
bro.
nice talking to you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. And come back anytime. We're here Fridays.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
I'm never here Fridays.
Yeah.
But thank you. This is very fun. I enjoyed this very much.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you so
It's
much.
been an honor.
Thank you, brother.